At the start of this year, I lost my girlfriend, business partner, and all of my clients because I was locked in 24/7. I was told in the dream that if I just locked myself in a room and didn't talk to anyone, then my business and my life would figure itself out. But what ended up happening is that I lost my personality. I ended up isolating not only from the bad social circles that you shouldn't engage with, I also isolated from my family. I isolated from my girlfriend. I isolated from my true friends. And this made me lose my personality. This made me lose the exact spark, the exact light, my personality that caused people to work with me. And so even my clients left because when you lose your personality, then you lose your light. And when you lose your light, then whatever you do in business will always feel robotic. It will always feel like you are missing something. It will always feel like you are trying to be someone that you're not. And in the online space, especially, a lot of these things are happening constantly. You are being sold on the lie that you just need to lock yourself in a room and work for 6 months, a year, 3 years to then be successful. But what I've realized is that although this was a good learning experience, this is not actually what makes you successful. Because you see, there is actually a concept in human psychology that the more negative emotions you have, the less effective you will be in whatever you pursue in life. And so when you isolate yourself and you let these negative emotions like anxiety and depression come to the forefront of your life, because that is what isolation does to you. Like you can look it up online, then everything that you do will be less effective and less efficient. So in case you were wondering if you needed to work 12-hour days, 16-hour days to achieve your goals, be careful, because if you work 16-hour days on things that you don't actually believe drive the needle forward, if you work 16-hour days and that means that you're neglecting important parts of your life, then those 16 hours will be less effective over time. If you're doing outreach, if you're doing content, if you're doing anything that is creative, anything that where you engage with people, and in business, there's a lot of instances where you engage with people, you lead people, right? You speak to people, you speak to prospects, you're transferring beliefs. And if you let that light be faded because you are isolating, because all these negative emotions are coming into your life, then everything that you're doing will be less effective. Now, my industry, I own a growth partner agency. I work with high ticket service providers online, but this applies to anyone, and especially anyone that is working an online job. Even if you work a remote job, even if you're a remote salesperson, even if you are, I don't know, let's say a marketing agency owner or whatever you do, right? An online coach. This applies to you. And the craziest part about all of this is how insidiously these negative emotions prevent you from progress. Because at first you believe that you're productive. The first 12-hour day goes fantastically. The second, not so great because you start feeling fatigued. The third is already impacted by the negative emotions that have been created by you denying yourself all joy in life. And you have started associating joy and enjoyment with negativity. You have started associating that with not productive. And this causes the spiral where you start to enjoy life less and you start to enjoy work less. You start to enjoy everything less. And that makes you less effective. Now, if you become less effective and you don't see your outputs, you don't see yourself getting closer to your goals, that will make you also more depressed. It will make you feel burnt out. And you're essentially programming yourself to be unsuccessful. You're programming yourself to fail. Now, there's a very dangerous moment in this journey that you haven't been making the progress that you thought you would in the beginning. And that makes you work even harder. And that makes you even more desperate for the outcomes. That makes you even more desperate to collect money, to get a new client or launch the product, right? And in that desperation, you are working even more. You're even more going down the rabbit hole and taking everything that is enjoyable from your life. And that makes you even more depressed. And that makes you even feel even more negative emotions, get even further away from God if you're religious. And guess what? You will find yourself after a month of work having made basically no progress. And you're wondering because you have worked 16 hours a day And you believe now you deserve to make progress because you have worked so much that at this point, the world should already just give in. And you have forcefully, violently taken action like everyone tells you to do online. But you've missed the mark. You still missed the point. You still are not where you want to be. You still have not achieved the goals that you set out to achieve. And the reason for that is because you did not work efficiently. You did not work based on efficiency. You worked based on your faulty association that pain is equal result. But that is not actually true, because purposeful suffering, although that can equate to result, if you enjoy what you do, you are a hell of a lot more effective. So if you're the kind of person who has started associating productivity with not enjoying the thing that you're doing, then you're actually robbing yourself of the most effective way to execute any project and any task. All right, I think this is it. So if you're a high-ticket service provider and you want to address the core reason your business is not growing and not just the superficial symptoms, then you can go down below and schedule a call where we can discuss similar topics to this, but also more strategic components to scaling your business as well. And if you just want to follow the journey, just like the energy, whatever the things that I'm talking about, then you can also go down below and follow me on Instagram or shoot me a DM with any questions that you might have. Yeah, that should be it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.